Hello, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Jess.
She's the traumatized.
And she's the abandoned. And
welcome
to our podcast.
Where we talk about true crime, spooky things, and everything in between.
And today we are going to be talking about some unsolved mysteries.
Woot
Let's
woot.
go. Let's go. I love unsolved mysteries.
I think
They
we went
frustrate the hell out of me.
into. I think we went into two different directions this week.
Oh, that's
Because you
exciting.
did like a missing person or
I
a
did.
person, and I
Yep.
did a thing.
Oh, I love that.
A
I don't know.
mysterious thing.
Did you get your inspiration from the Netflix show?
Mm-mm.
Because that's where I get my unsolved mysteries
Oh.
from. It's from the Unsolved Mysteries show.
No, I usually just Google unsolved mysteries. And I go through thousands of articles, or not thousands, but articles.
Thousands, guys. Thousands. That's
of
how dedicated
articles.
we are. How was your week? How was it? Did you do anything fun?
I don't think so. It was good. Yeah, just editing and stuff. Nothing too
Crazy?
fantastical. No. Yeah, I don't know. I talked to my mom last night.
Okay. Same, but I think for very different reasons.
I don't know what we just like shooting the shit, not really talking about anything.
Oh, I love that. That's nice.
Yeah, we were just like shooting the shit, talking about she's really liking her new job.
Right. We did talk about that.
Oh my gosh, she told me that so for Christmas on my stepdad's side, they
Okay.
kind of just all buy for like the grandkids, or it's like
Mhm.
to my mom and stepdad they'd be like great nieces or nephews, and they kind of just like get them something. Well, I guess they were at Menards before Christmas and they saw these
Mhm.
little things of grow your own mushrooms. And my mom,
What kind of mushroom?
just like normal like cooking
Okay.
mushrooms, I'm
Oh,
assuming.
gotcha. Okay,
Not
okay.
psychedelic mushrooms.
Okay, yeah. I was like,
But apparently my mom like pointed them out to my stepdad to be like, oh, we should get this for the house or something. And my stepdad's like, no, those are for the kids. And so I guess they bought these grow your own mushroom kits for all of like the great nieces
great-
and nephews.
What? I mean, I love that. I would love to get that. I love mushrooms. I love this whole
But
mushroom kick. So, like, that sounds great
To
for me.
explain, these kids, I don't want Keenan around. They're very spoiled and
Oh.
rude,
Oh,
and
so
like
they probably didn't like the mushroom idea. No. No, you don't. Yeah, that's. I get that.
Because I guess like my mom was saying how one kid opened it, and his mom was like, "Oh, interesting," and then like
An avocado. Thanks.
his cousin opened like the same thing, and so like the other like older kids, I think they're all under 10, but like the older girls were kind of like, oh, because they're like, you guys got the same thing and it's wrapped in the same paper, so
So put on your fake smiles and say
no.
thank you.
One of them was like, my brother already got these. I was like, the audacity of these kids to be so rude on Christmas. Like, the fuck?
What's crazy to me is like, I think I told you the story about our Christmas. Like, there was one Christmas video where I just went back and it was like, holy shit. Because my brothers were extremely spoiled. When I was raised, both my parents, like my mom worked 2 jobs. My dad like had to work
Mhm.
overtime a lot. Like they struggled. Like we struggled
Mhm.
when I was young. My dad went back to school, got his engineering degree, and my mom went back to school, got her RN. So like they started climbing, right?
Mhm.
So by the time my brothers were like 5, 6, 7, 8, we had money.
Mhm.
But like there's one Christmas video where they're unwrapping all these presents, and I'm talking like video games. Unwrapping, cool, throws it over his shoulder, unwraps another one, cool, throws it, like brand new video games, just throwing it.
Fuck.
And meanwhile you zoom over to me and I'm opening my big present that year and it was Proactive. And it's like, I was so fucking grateful. I was so thankful for that.
Mhm.
And it's just like, so it's like, it's crazy to me that you actually could have that difference. Like we do have 7 to 10 years difference in between us. I grew up, like I said, really just grateful for anything and everything. whereas my brothers
Mhm.
grew up expecting things. And it's very interesting to me, that different type of mentality.
Yeah.
Like even within the same family, you know, you have that different mentality. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Very,
But,
very interesting.
My comment to my mom was, because she was like, I guess we shouldn't have got those. I was like, no, that's exactly what those ungrateful
Yeah.
children needed, was fucking
Yeah.
mushrooms. Maybe it
Yeah.
would have humbled them a bit. Oh wait, not. But that's
They need to be working with their hands. Jesus.
like,
Anyway.
because like when she told me, I was like, oh, that's really cool, like an at-home science experiment
I
they
got
can do
excited.
together.
I got excited about it.
And like, I was like, oh wow. But yeah, so
Nice.
we had a good time talking. So
That's always good.
How was your week?
It's good. I'm going through a lot right now, so it's very stressful. We'll get into it one day, everything. But I'm literally uprooting my life and moving. So trying to find like a place to live, a new job. It's very overwhelming. And I'm really grateful I'm in therapy because he's able to provide me with grounding techniques and like things. Like one of the things he says is like, if you start really feeling overwhelmed about everything, because you're changing a lot in my life very quickly. First of all, he said take your time, because there's really no rush. Like you have time. Don't feel like you have to do it all in one day. And I'm like, because I'm sick now because I've been stressed out all week. But he's like, focus on like my support system, because I'm moving back home. So I'm moving to Virginia, which is literally like my entire family's there. All of my old high school friends and like the friends that I'm like the closest to are there. And I've been separate from them for like 8 years. And so the thought of going back is so exciting. I can actually like go to dinner with my friends again. Like that's a thing that I haven't been able to do in so long. It's just like, and he said, so he's like, when you start to feel overwhelmed about all these huge things in your life, like focus on the positives. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. And he's like, that's what therapy is, guys. It trains your brain, instead of spiraling down, to focus on, to redirect and like focus on the positives. And that's so helpful. So if you're not in therapy, do it. Like even if you don't think you need it, you might. But yeah, that's just this week. I'm just doing my best. My aunt sent me, I'm not gonna steal your quote. I guess I could have sent this to you, but like she sent me something and I'm like, I literally have it saved as my background on my phone. But it's like, I spend an insane amount of time wondering if I'm doing it right. At some point I remind myself that I'm just doing my best, and that's enough. And it's like, damn. Like literally, because whenever I'm just like panicking, I like look at my phone. I'm like, I'm doing my best. It's fine. It's enough. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, other than my life changing, I'm doing great. Everything else is fine. Hanging in there.
Yeah.
So
yep.
But yeah. Anyway, would you like to know the fun fact of the day?
I would love to.
Okay. Did you know that there was a study done of over 200,000 ostriches over a period of 80 years?
Okay.
And not a single one was reported where an ostrich actually buried its head in the sand or attempted to do so.
So where did that come from?
Don't know, but it's not true.
Wow.
So don't know where that came from, but yeah, it is not true.
Yeah, because ostriches just run away. They're
Yeah,
like super fast.
Literally
They
run
can
away. And they,
run
yeah.
away. Interesting.
So, right? Fun fact of the day, ostriches don't bury their head in the sand.
Unlike me, I was burying my head in the sand. Avoid.
We are definitely the flight characters in the flight or fight. P.S. I'm going to leave this in here because we need to share it. Nikki has been uploading stuff on her YouTube channel, personal YouTube gaming channel. You guys should go check it out because we're playing through the forest right now. Speaking of fight or flight. And very funny. I think it's funny. It's very scary. But you guys should go check it out because if you like us here, we're talking about true crime and stuff. You should see how we are when we play video games.
Jess is definitely flight. And
I told you that before we started. I warned you. That's not true. I've died by your side twice now.
You
fighting.
You had to run back. Because you ran back.
Okay, I ran back once. The first,
No,
I think I left you the first time too.
I don't understand the game mechanics. I can never hit them with my axe. That's why I fight them with fire.
Yeah, and then you light me on fire.
Yeah. You know,
But I could hit them with my axe.
I can never hit. That's why I die so quickly,
Interesting.
because I can't
Well, I mean, I
get the
die
right
quickly too, 'cause
angle.
I think you only take like 4 hits and you're done. And especially if you have like more than one on you, you're done.
Yeah,
You're
you're
done.
done.
You're
Anyways,
done.
it's terrifying, and yeah, great time.
So yeah, go check it out. We stream. Well, she streams now. I will stream again one day.
When life is not difficult.
Yep.
You're streaming
Anyway.
vicariously through me on Fridays.
I am. I love it. It makes me miss streaming, but I'm like, mentally I could not.
Not right now.
Like, this is different because we're recording, and so if I say something fucking stupid, we can edit it out. Or if I start randomly crying, I can edit it out. But like, you can't edit out live. Anyway, all right, what are you going to be telling me about today?
Today, I'm going to be talking about the Voynich Manuscript.
Ooh.
So the Voynich Manuscript is a handwritten and illustrated 15th century codex.
Okay.
It is known as the world's most mysterious book.
I've never heard of this. Now I'm interested.
Neither had I.
Ooh.
So this first kind of section is just kind of like talking about the book, and then we'll go deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So it was carbon dated to the early 15th century, or 1404 to 1438 is kind of like where they think it's from. Stylistic analysis indicates it may have been composed in Italy during the Italian Renaissance. However, the author of the book is unknown, and the script or the language in it is also unknown.
The language is unknown.
And to this day, the book has eluded decipherment. So the language is unknown, and on top of that, they think it's coded, like a coded language.
Jesus. Okay.
So, yeah, intense.
Yeah.
It is roughly 240 pages, but there is evidence that additional pages are missing. Obviously, it's from the 15th century. Things are going to happen.
Right.
Some pages are also foldable sheets of varying sizes. So, like, they like fold out.
Ooh. Okay. Like a picture book.
Yeah, it's very much so. Like,
oh my god, it is a picture book.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's elaborate illustrations of otherworldly plants, unfamiliar constellation, and naked women remain as baffling as they are beautiful.
It's like a whole nother meaning to like a centerpiece.
Yes. The manuscript has been studied by many professional and amateur cartographers, including code breakers from both world wars.
Ooh.
Mystery of its meaning and origin has led it to be the subject of study and speculation over the years. So now we're going to go into a brief history of who kind of owned the book for periods of time.
Right.
But the history is still full of mystery because
history and mystery.
Yeah.
Did there.
Didn't mean to do that, but according to the tale, the codex had belonged to Emperor Rudolph II of Germany. It is likely that he acquired it from an English astrologer named John Dee, who claimed that it was written by this one person, but it can't be proven. But Emperor Rudolph seems to have given the manuscript to a man called Jacob de Tapenez.
Tapensy?
No, Tapenx. It's Tapenecz.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Which he seemed to be just like, I don't know, someone who worked around his palace or something. Like, not a very high-born person, just a random person who was probably in charge of like upkeeping things. I don't know. Who knows?
Can we just take a second to talk about how, like, I fucking hate wearing turtlenecks because it feels like my neck is like suffocating or whatever like that. Like, these motherfuckers were like straight up like frills around their entire, like, I would never be able to like wear that.
Yeah, no. Absolutely not.
Like, I hate a turtleneck. I don't like when the shirts come up too close, like
Same.
up here. Like, I need like breathing area, you know? I need.
I mean, most days I don't wear hoodies because of that feeling.
You'll see me if I ever wear a hoodie, I'm always pulling it down. I always pull it down. Fun fact, just go watch all of our other episodes where I'm wearing a hoodie and you just see me pulling it down.
But yeah, so then there's a gap of time where we don't know where the book is. And then Johann Marcus Marquis presented the book to Athanasius Kircher.
There's a lot of big names.
In 1666.
Done this to yourself.
Yes, I have. That's why I said like this was a like I had to break this down into days because it's a lot.
It's a lot
of words. Again, there's another gap of time from 1666 until 1912 when it was rediscovered by Wilford M. Voynich, who was an antiquarian bookseller, like antique books.
Okay.
And for whom the book is now named after. And then in 1969, the manuscript was given to the Voynich Library at Yale University, where it is today. It was given to the university by H.P. Cross, and Cross had purchased it from the estate of Ethel Voynich, so Wilford's widow.
Okay.
Wilford had it for a long time because his asking price for it was extremely high and nobody wanted to pay for it. So
right, because at that point, like, why would somebody pay for a book that can't be read or decoded? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, yeah, there's mystery behind it, but like, what's the purpose?
Yeah. So now that we kind of have the briefest history ever, because there's not a lot of information on it, we're going to go into the description of the book. The codicology, or the study of codices or manuscript books, and its physical characteristics of the manuscript has been studied extensively by researchers. So it is 9.3 inches by 6.4 inches and about 2 inches thick, or for those of you who are non-American, 23.5 centimeters by 16.2 centimeters and is about 5 centimeters thick. As I said before, the number of pages is roughly 240, and the pages are made from vellum, which is prepared animal skin or membrane, typically used for writing at the time that it was made.
Okay. That's creepy to me, but okay.
I mean, they didn't have paper.
I know, but just the fact it's skin. I mean, I know.
Throughout the book, it is numbered. On some pages were numerals consistent with the 1400s, while other pages have numerals consistent with later dates. There is also strong evidence that many of the book's pages were reordered at various points. So the original page order may have been quite different than what it is today.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Samples from various parts of the manuscript were radiocarbon dated at the University of Arizona in 2009, and the results were consistent for all samples tested that indicated the date of the parchment between 1404 and 1438, like I said earlier. Protein testing in 2014 revealed that the parchment was made from calf skin.
Baby calf? Like, why babies? See, it's creepy. It's creepy. Why babies? Why not like full grown cows? Why baby cat?
Maybe the skin is a better.
Can we not? Nope. No. I mean, I'm really weird about that. I don't know why. If it might be the impact, I don't know why. But I'm so weird about, like, I won't eat veal. I won't eat lamb. Like, something about like the baby animals, like, can't. Like, I'm not saying I'm vegetarian. I'll eat the shit out of a steak any day of the week. I love meat, love hamburger, love it. But I can't mentally get over the baby aspect of it.
Yeah.
No.
Just a baby.
Just a baby.
Well, The goat skin binding and covers are not original to the book, but date to its possession by the Collegio Romano or the Roman College. So the binding and the book covers now are of goat skin.
Cool.
Insect holes are present on the first and last folios of the manuscript in the current order and suggest that a wooden cover was present before the later covers. So before it had goat skin, it was suggested that maybe it was a wood cover.
So how did we go from wood covers to, oh, let's just put some goat skin on it? How did that happen? I know it's probably how it was done at that time. I'll be okay.
Many pages contain substantial drawings or charts which are colored with paint. Based on modern analysis using polarized light microscopy, it has been determined that a quill pen and iron gall ink were used for the text and figure outlines. The similarity between the drawing inks and the text inks suggests that they were created at the same time. Colored paint was applied somewhat crudely to the ink outline figures, possibly at a later date. The blue, white, red, brown, and green paints of the manuscript have been analyzed, and the pigments used were deemed inexpensive.
Okay.
Every page in the manuscript contains text. The bulk of the text in the 240-page manuscript is written in an unknown script running left to right.
That's so interesting.
Most of the characters are composed of one or two simple pen strokes. There exists some dispute as to whether certain characters are distinct, but a script of 20 to 25 characters would account for virtually all of the text. Like an alphabet of that size, kind of.
Okay.
The exceptions are a few dozen rarer characters that occur only once or twice each. There is no obvious punctuation. Much of the text is written in a single column in the body of a page with a slightly ragged right margin and paragraph divisions, and sometimes stars align the left margin. So it's basically kind of like how we write today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other text occurs in charts or as labels associated with illustrations. There are no indications of any errors or corrections made at any place in the document. Practically no words have fewer than 2 letters or more than 10 letters. The language of the text has not been figured out yet, but the structure of the words seems to follow writing laws of some sort. For example, certain characters appear in each word. Some are doubled, but others not. So kind of like how we have English today.
Yeah.
However, the distribution of some letters within words can also be peculiar, like characters only occurring at the beginning of words or only at the endings, like Greek words typically have, or sometimes always just in the middle of words. Some words occur in only certain sections or in only a few pages. Others occur throughout the manuscript.
This is wild.
Few repetitions occur among the 1,000 or so labels attached to the illustrations. There are instances where the same common word appears up to 3 times in a row. So it's, yeah. Words that differ by only 1 letter also repeat with an unusual frequency, causing single substitution alphabet decipherings to yield Babel-like text.
Or maybe it's like it's like poetry, like trying to rhyme. I don't know.
Maybe. In 1962, cryptanalyst Elizabeth Friedman described such statistical analysis as doomed to utter frustration. In 2014, a team out of the University of São Paulo published a study using statistical methods to analyze the relationships of the words in the text. Instead of trying to find the meaning, the team looked for connections and clusters of words. So the team concluded that in 90% of cases, The Voynich systems are similar to those of other known books, indicating that the text is an actual language and not random gibberish. Linguists also believe that the manuscript is not gibberish based on character sequences that lead them to believe it is likely to be an encoded natural language or a constructed language. Long story short,
Yep.
they do believe that it is not gibberish. It is an actual language, whether it is coded or constructed.
Yeah.
The illustrations are conventionally used to divide most of the manuscript into 6 different sections, since the text cannot be read. Each section is characterized by illustrations with different styles and supposed subject matter, except for the last section, in which the only drawings are small stars in the margin. So the first section is herbal. This includes 112 of the folios or pages. Each page displays 1 or 2 plants and a few paragraphs of text. A format typical of European herbals of the time. So, for example, so you see a plant and then a few paragraphs next to it. The next section is astronomical, which is like 21 of the pages. It contains circular diagrams suggestive of astronomy or astrology, some of them with suns, moons, and stars. One series of the 12 diagrams depicts conventional symbols for the zodiacal constellations as well.
Oh, these are so cool.
And then we have the, forgive me, balneological section, which consists of about 20 pages. This, a dense, continuous text interspersed with drawings, mostly showing small nude women, some wearing crowns, bathing in pools or tubs connected by an elaborate network of pipes. Now,
hear me out. Theory.
Okay.
What if this is just like, I'm thinking it could just be like a twin thing. This is just like a random person's journal and just drawing and journaling all this different shit, like speaking in a twin language.
Maybe.
And like a journal in between the two twins. You know what I mean?
That is interesting because some believe that it was written by 2 different people, 2 different scribes.
Like that's what vibes this is giving me. It's just like, especially with how there's different like layers to it. Like, what if it was just like a journal type thing in between like 2 siblings or twins that like understood each other, so they made their own language, because that would make it, there's no written language, that they're automatically coded, because like twins do have like their own languages and shit. Like,
maybe
that's my theory.
That's your So balneological is basically like the study of baths and like their healing natures.
Okay.
From my understanding of what that word means.
I think baths are healing for sure.
Right. So the next section is cosmological, which contains about 13 pages. So these are more circular diagrams, but they are of an obscure nature. This section also has fold-outs. One of them spans 6 pages. I think that's the one that I showed earlier is from this section, because that's a 6-page fold-out.
Yep. Okay, yep.
Commonly called the Rosetta's folio, and contains a map or diagram with 9 islands or rosettes, connected by causeways and containing castles, as well as what might be a volcano. Another page that falls under this section, I believe, is the one with the tiny little dragon on it. Open it up, you see a little dragon. Right hand corner.
Little guy. I see him. I'm telling you, man, this is like, they're beautiful. But I could definitely see this being like little scribblings. You know what I mean? Like.
So the next section is pharmaceutical, which contains about 34 pages, mainly labeled drawings of isolated plant parts, roots, leaves, etc., Objects resembling apothecary jars, ranging in style from the mundane to the fantastical, and a few text paragraphs. And the last section would be like the recipes section, which contains about 22 pages. And these are full pages of text broken into many short paragraphs, each marked with a star in the left margin. So that's where they think this what the star ones are is is like a recipe or something.
Oh.
So, what is the purpose of this mysterious book?
God, I don't know.
The overall impression of the manuscript is that it was meant to serve possibly as a medicinal text with all of its herbs and recipes and stuff, maybe. The first section of the book is almost certainly herbal, but attempts have failed to identify the plants, either with actual specimens or with the stylized drawings. Only a few of the plant drawings can be identified with reasonable certainty, such as a wild pansy and the maidenhair fern. The herbal pictures that match pharmacological sketches appear to be clean copies of them, except that missing parts were completed with improbable looking details. In fact, many of the plant drawings in the herbal section seem to be composite, meaning the roots of one species have been fastened to the leaves of another with flowers from a third. If you kind of look back at page,
so like, yeah, maybe that's like a potion. You know what I mean? Like,
right? Maybe like the ingredients,
combine, like an ingredient list of sorts.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Like, so you need those three things to combine them.
So the astrological considerations frequently played a prominent role in herb gathering, bloodletting, and other medical procedures common during the likeliest dates of the manuscript was made. So that would make sense as to why the astrological stuff would be in a medicinal type text. However, interpretation remains speculative apart from the obvious zodiac symbols and one diagram possibly showing the classical planets. So, all that being said, until the manuscript can be deciphered, we might not ever know what its true purpose was. And there have been many to have claimed that they have solved the code of the manuscript, though all of them have been disputed or rejected. So, to this day, the Voynich Manuscript is a mystery that continues to stump scholars, cartographers, physicists, computer scientists, and everyone else.
Literally everybody. So crazy.
There are some theories that maybe it was a medieval house, like
right, just to fuck with somebody. Yeah. I mean, that would make sense.
But yeah, it's a mystery. We do know for sure that it was made in the 15th century. So any claims of it being a hoax from modern day is
false.
Is false.
At least it's old. We know it's old.
We know it's old. But that's about it.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's so interesting.
I mean, the pictures and stuff are so cool.
Right?
It totally gives me like doodling draws though. Like it really does.
Like the little dragon.
And like especially the one that like folds out with like that's the islands, right? You were saying?
Yeah.
Like that looks like a zen dink tangle or whatever they're called. Like people do those now. You know what I mean? That's your story?
Yeah, that's it. That's me story.
I'd never heard of that. The more you know. All right. You ready for my story?
I am ready.
Okay.
I hate missing person stories, but here we go.
Sorry.
Let's go.
Okay.
I like endings. I like when things have endings.
Well, I do find it very like indicative of your like characteristics in that Unsolved Mysteries. You do not tend to like do missing persons because you are always like, I mean, you have a hard time starting a book series without knowing the final book's out, you know, or like a TV show. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about Joshua Guimond, which, as you have mentioned, is a missing persons. So Joshua Guimond was last seen leaving Metten Court on the campus of St. John's University in Collegeville, Minnesota, at approximately midnight on Saturday, November 9th, 2002. A little backstory. Josh was the senior class president in high school. He ended up giving this speech as the valedictorian at his graduation. As soon as he turned 35, he wanted to run to be the next president. Like, he had dreams. He had goals. He planned on going to law school once he had finished college, and then from there he was going to be a lawyer, then a senator. Like, he had long-term goals. Like, he wanted to go somewhere.
Must be nice to know what you want to do with the rest of your life.
Like right out of high school, like, shit, I still don't know what I want to do.
Same.
So our story begins in a college dorm where Josh was seen playing poker with some friends on campus.
Fun.
He arrived. I
said fun. That sounds like a good time to me.
Right. Well.
Oh.
He arrived at the party at 11:30 p.m. Sometime around midnight, people started realizing Josh wasn't there anymore.
Wait, that's only 30 minutes.
30 minutes into the party.
Interesting.
A couple people at the party had noticed a male get up and leave, but they weren't quite sure if it was Josh or not. They couldn't remember. They were drinking. Once the people at the party realized he wasn't there anymore, they started to call his cell phone, and there was no answer. He was just gone.
In 2002, he had a cell phone.
In 2002, yep.
Family must have had money.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He wanted to be president. So
that's true.
Like, yeah. When his best friend / roommate had come home from another party around 2 a.m. that night, he realized that Josh wasn't in his room. He assumed, he must still be at that party. The next morning, he woke up and he still wasn't back and thought that was weird. That was not like Josh. So just a quick side note, they had decided to go to 2 different parties that night. And like one of the things, he also had a long-term girlfriend, which we'll touch on a little later. She was also having a party. They were in college. So like there was like different things going on and there were a lot of regrets. Like I said, I got a lot of my information from the Unsolved Mystery episode that's on Netflix. It was really interesting. It was hard to watch, but
Yeah.
Anyways, loved this. So his best friend realized he wasn't there in the morning. So he got on and checked his AIM account. And for those people who don't know what that is, that's AOL Instant Messenger. That was a thing. And his account had been idle for over 12 hours. And that was not okay. All he could think of at this point was, where was he? He did start calling the people who were at the party with him. And they said, they then told him that he had just disappeared and he wasn't answering his cell phone for them either. His friends also realized that he had not taken his coat, his wallet, his glasses, or his keys. His car was still in the parking lot.
What? Okay.
He also, so at this point, he called the girlfriend, and the girlfriend and him were on a debate team. He had missed the mock trial meeting that morning, and he had never missed one. Like, he took those extremely seriously, especially with how he wanted his future to go. Like, he really took those seriously. She was like, this isn't like him. Like, so she thought he was sick. The roommate called her, and he's like, he's not here. So at this point, everyone really starts to
panic,
worry.
Yeah.
His school work was also left on his desk, and his computer was still turned on.
Okay.
Sunday night at 10:30 on November 10th. So this is the next. So he disappeared on the 9th. So that's the next day, 10:30 p.m. The dean of students called Josh's mom and let her know, you need to report your son missing, because his friends haven't seen him since last night. Imagine getting that call as a mom.
Yeah.
Like, she immediately called in. Right. Like, like, I think that's one of the scariest things. The dean
of the school is calling you and saying, you need to report your son missing. Terrifying.
She called it, and immediately the sheriff's department did a quick search, did a quick search of his apartment. There was no sign of struggle, any sort of note, nothing that really shot up any red flags. They didn't close off the scene because they saw no, but at this point you realize that at least the roommate's been in there.
Yeah.
However, the detectives did find that shortly after Josh vanished, someone had erased items from his computer hard drive. So remember that joke that we have? Like, if anything ever happens to me, delete my... They did.
Wow.
The deleted images were finally uncovered. So apparently they could do that. Revealing a number of photos of young men.
Young.
That's all it said.
Okay.
It just said photos. It didn't say loot. It's just young photos.
Young photos. Okay.
The police obviously became very eager to learn more about any connection that Josh may have had at the time, including those he may have made online. The Stearns County Sheriff Steve Soya said that none of the people in the pictures had come forward themselves. The police force has received over 50 tips from the public, so they released the photos to the public. Nobody had come forward, but at least 50 tips from the public had been like, hey, yeah, we know who that is.
Oh no. Okay.
So, the FBI and over 100 National Guard members joined at least 250 local volunteers in scoring the 16 square mile college campus area in the days that followed. This is where we're going to say to buckle up.
Oh, okay.
Because things only went from bad to worse at this point. In the space of 11 days,
Mm-hmm.
2 additional students, Chris Jenkins and Michael Knoll, matching the same description as Ross, mysteriously disappeared as well.
What? What?
They gone. Those 3 people in 11 days.
What?
And they all matched they looked very similar, which I thought was crazy.
Insane.
A private canine unit brought in by Chris Jenkins and Josh's family went on to track Josh's scent to a St. John's Abbey, as well as the frozen lake behind it.
An abbey?
Mm-hmm.
The nuns are up to no good.
While nothing was found inside, the connection to the abbey was haunting.
Oh no.
Some of the monks living on the property had a long history of sexual abuse, which had outraged Josh at the time, according to his friends and family.
I'm so confused.
So the monastery had monks in it.
Okay.
And some of those monks had history of sexual abuse. So they went into the monastery to find God and to right themselves. But Josh found out and was really upset about that. The fact that they were so close to campus and they were at an abbey where you would think is safe.
Yeah. Okay.
So something like out of the episode, like I said, it was really hard for me to kind of watch, was that they went into like everyone's last moments with him. Like the last time his dad saw him was a week before one of his debates, and he had told him that he was really proud of him for how he had, he was like, and that was the last time I saw my son. And then his long-term girlfriend had seen him like the day before. They were talking about the parties they were going to go to. She was having one. She wanted him to go to it, but he needed to go to the other friends. And that was the last. She was like, maybe if I would have pushed him a little harder,
Right.
So there was just a lot of regret there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot. And the whole Abby thing, there's a lot of speculation there.
Okay.
Just a lot of different speculation on, because 2 other men also disappeared. They never found anything in regards to the disappearances. Nothing.
Wow.
Like they searched the lake behind the Abbey. They searched the Abbey. There's literally nothing. There's no evidence leading back to anything. It's just a complete dead end, even though the canine unit followed his scent there. Mm-hmm. There is still a website, findjoshua.com.
Oh.
This has been, like I said, his disappearance was 2002, so it's been 21 years ago. The website's still up and functioning. This is the quote that's on the website. "We would greatly appreciate your help finding our son. Josh has been missing from the campus of St. John's University in Collegeville, Minnesota since November 9th, 2002. He was last seen living in a dorm room 3 minutes walking the distance from his dorm and never made it. He has not been seen since. Josh did not leave of his own free will. He was without his car, glasses, or coat warm enough for the weather. None of his credit cards have been used, and there has been no contact with any friends, family members since that day. Please be on the lookout for Josh. Please let us know if you've seen him or if you know anything related to his disappearance which might help us find him. Thanks, Josh's family." That was dated in 2002.
So was all of his items at the party, or were all of his items at his dorm room?
I think there was both. I think his glasses and his car keys were at the dorm room, and his
wallet and cell phone and stuff were
at the party.
They didn't find any other...
Nothing.
What the heck? I wonder if there was like a serial killer.
Or
Like 11 days to have 3 people completely disappear without any evidence.
And they all looked the same.
So
And serial killers
insane.
usually pick like
The same victimology.
either that or it was some sort of like sacrifice or
From the monks sacrificed them.
that's what some people believe.
That's insane. What?
So we'll post a picture if you guys have seen him or know anything about him. Please visit that website. They are still looking for him. 21 years later. I guess he'd be about 40.
Probably his second year into his senatorship or second term. What the
Anyway.
heck?
So like that's the thing is like people are like, oh, suicide. Like that is not an option. Like the dude was so driven, was so like there's no any sort of hint of unhappiness. Like he had been dating his girlfriend since they were like sophomores in high school, I think.
But people who commit suicide hide that extremely well.
That's true.
Like,
I don't know. It's the drive for like
right.
But yeah, so that's it. That's it for this episode. Always gotta bring us down, you know. We're back to our norm. Where if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to follow us. Leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Hello, hi. Like and subscribe. We have 19 subscribers now.
We do.
Guys,
so exciting.
This is very exciting. It's also really exciting. Like we're the nerds that like look at our like viewership and see how many views we're getting, and it's just really appreciate every single one of you and our listeners too. Not trying to leave you guys out on Spotify. And if you're listening on Audible, I think we're on Audible. So, hey guys, we love you too. Just appreciate all the support, and it is kind of exciting just to see it, you know, see more friends. We like friends.
You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with our username at TTATA Podcast. And in the bio of all of our social media is our link tree, which has our email. If you have any comments, concerns, suggestions, any topics you'd like us to cover, let us know. Email us.
Yes, please do. We listen. I need distractions. So guys, email us anything. Want to talk? We're here for you. Not anything, but thanks for listening, guys. Next week we're gonna be doing another chaotic chat. Set time again, and we're gonna be doing false confessions. And you guys should be there. So I'm really excited about it. Weird. Ugh. I almost went a whole episode without saying it. You know what? No, I'm proud. I'm proud to be excited about our podcast. Anyway. And with that, we're gonna leave you with this inspirational quote.
That's me. I'm up.
It's okay. I forgot about the rotation thing. So.
Are we ready?
Inspire me.
Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart.
Oh.
By Roy T. Bennett.
Damn, that's really good. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good because fear really keeps you back. It like holds you back.
Holds you back.
It really does. And dreams push you forward. So do it, guys. Anyway, all right, that's it. Bye now. Go away. No.
Don't go away, please.
Don't
Stay.
go away. Stay with us.
Watch another video.
Edit that out. It's fine. Yeah. Did you watch last week's? It was great. All right. Bye.
Bye.